just want to start again by thanking our fans. I had our guys after the game get to the exits and just, try and personally thank everybody. They've been unbelievable all season and, have supported this team. I wouldn't say more than they deserve, but they've been there throughout the highs and the lows and have just stayed so consistent and have stayed, just it's what they do though. That's what Auburn's all about. That's why Auburn's special, and our kids are incredibly grateful for that. And we talked about obviously doing this for the seniors. We talked about doing this, for our fans because they all deserved it. So just so grateful for our students, the jungle, the leadership of the jungle, and all of the old people that took an extra nap today for this ridiculous tip-off. So want to thank our fans. They're phenomenal. Obviously, great to get a win. Great to send our seniors out on the right note. Obviously needed that one. And, I thought defensively we did a lot of really good things early. We were disruptive. We turned them over. We went back to some things that we were doing earlier this year. And I thought that was effective. And we were very in control offensively tonight, which makes a big difference. So, happy with the result, and got to try and build off it. So, take any questions.
Wasn't always fast break points, but it looks like you guys got in transition and really made an emphasis on pushing. How effective was that, and kind of what stood out about this matchup that made y'all think y'all could do that as well?
I mean, we talked about if we had turnovers to get out and go. In the first half, I thought we did a good job off of turnovers of just making the easy pass in transition. We felt like we had a speed advantage at the 5-man, getting down the floor. And, I thought our guards did a better job of getting down to the corners and just spreading out the the defense. Elijah got to the corner, made a big three at the end of the first half, which was huge. So guys just did a good job of running their fast break lanes, and we made simple passes, and we had 1 or 2 turnovers in the first half, 10 assists and 2 turnovers, which was really important for that first half for us to have that lead.
Stephen, I had 2 for you. 1-0 in the suit. Are we going to see that return, or is that just a one-time thing for Senior Day?
Yeah, Key asked me to dress up a few weeks ago for his senior day, so I decided to do so, and it's I don't know, might have to. Have the battle of the Blazers on Saturday, but no, I mean it's uncomfortable. It's hot. I feel like I'm gonna rip through my pants every time I try and bend down. So but maybe. If the guy, I'll ask the guys. If the guys want me to wear it, I'll wear it. It definitely kept me a little more calm because you're not able to. You could rip through this thing if you get too excited. So maybe we'll see.
And then just defensively, I know you said you guys went back to some stuff, but I think 13 steals tonight was the most in SEC play. Just what were maybe some of the things you saw that led to that, or just, I guess, what were some of the things that maybe you guys went back to defensively tonight?
Yeah, we went back to an old ball screen coverage, which we've done a lot through these last 8 games. We just were a little more consistent with it tonight, and I thought we learned from some of the mistakes we made in previous games, which was really important. Part of it was like scout specific though with LSU and their personnel, so that doesn't work with every team. It worked really well tonight because it worked with the guys that were in the initial actions. But we just had more. We were more active with our hands. Tahad has 4 steals, and KO's got 2, and Sebastian's got 2. We were just way more active, and I thought we were just more aggressive, and we were in the right positions, and we did a good job of making plays, and we were just way more active. And when you play with great energy and activity like that, anything you do is going to work. So that's what we have to continue to do in order for our defense to be able to turn teams over and be able to get stops.
Stephen, you guys have lost 7 of your last 8 coming into this game with a lot of things still being up in the
Really?
air. Was this the game that kind of settled everything down? Do you feel like this could build going into Alabama? How does this win feel for you and the team going into the season finale?
Yeah, it was obviously it was a big one. We talked about we can't do anything about what happened over the last 8 games. All we can do is be where our feet are and control these next 40 minutes. And I thought our guys did a great job of that.
Peter, you guys held McKinnon to 3 points. He only took 3 3-pointers. What went into the performance there?
Yeah, I mean we did a better job. He hit his first 3 in transition, and then I thought our guards did a great job of just being connected to him and not over helping on penetration. Part of that was because we didn't require a ton of help because how we guarded the ball screen. So guys did a good job. We're way more locked in, and it was great to see us be able to lock down a team's leading scorer for the first time in a while. So credit to Todd and KO, Elijah, Key, whoever was guarding him did a really good job.
Well, Michael, then Nathan.
Coach, you said repeatedly you need your best players to play better defense. You feel like you're scoring a pretty decent clip. Can you talk about how you're getting your team to respond to playing better defense so late in the season when a lot of teams kind of just are who they are at this point, but your guys seem to be responding?
Yeah, I thought Tahad, really made a step in the right direction today. Tonight, I need him to continue to do so. KO, I thought was about as physical as he's been in his one-on-one defense in a while, which is what he's shown and capable of doing. I just thought that there was just way more. We were just way more intentional with a lot of the things that we did defensively, and we got to continue to do that. So, it was good. Blake gave us some really good minutes in there. When he came in defensively, and the guys did a much better job tonight. So we obviously have to carry that over to Saturday against a really high-powered offense, and into the SEC tournament.
KO plays 37 minutes, has 4 3-pointers. Seems like he's had a lot of games recently where he's been able to hit a high volume of 3-point shots. I guess how nice has that been to have a player like that who's been pretty consistent from the 3-point line? Because you're getting him in transition, then you got him in the half-court sets too.
Yeah, he hit some tough ones too, and he was just kind of feeling it tonight. So KO was great, and I'm more pleased with what he did defensively than what he did offensively. We've been good offensively all year. We're top 12 or 13 offense. It was really great to see him and Tahad really sit down and guard, and that if they do that, continue to do that moving forward, we'll have a chance to win some games moving forward. So, but yeah, him hitting shots, him and Tahad making 8 threes, and shoot Elijah making those 3 guys hitting 10 is obviously significant, and that changes what we do offensively when we're able to knock down shots.
Go a few more, Jerry.
Coach, the lead Tahad was able to take defensively this year overall. What does that kind of say about his ceiling as a basketball player?
Yeah, I think tonight he showed what he's capable of in games where he's just really active with his hands, and because he's not always in the right spots. But if you're not in the right spots, at least go be aggressive and make plays. And I thought he did that really well tonight. So would love for him to continue to do that. He just took some pride in his one-on-one defense, and he kind of likes, bless you, he kind of likes when we switch because he likes fronting the post and kind of battling down there, kind of to a fault because somebody will try and kick him out and he'll push him off, and I'm like, let him kick you out, Todd. It's fine. But no, he was good, really good tonight, and need him to continue to do so.
Key plus 17 for you guys tonight. Not his best scoring game, obviously, but led you on defensive boards, and he didn't have a turnover until that late one. Just kind of what do you think about him, especially on senior night, playing a complete game for y'all?
Yeah, he was very solid. Similar to Tahad and KO. I thought he didn't force the issue too much. He had a couple of tough ones early, but I liked all of his threes. They were guys were kind of backed off of him, and those are shots that he usually makes. I thought defensively he did a pretty good job tonight, and I thought he probably could have gotten to the foul line a few more times. He got a couple tough no calls, but I thought he was very solid, and didn't force the issue in the second half. He kind of let the game come to him, and for him to score 17 and that to be an off night, that just speaks to his impact and how capable he is of really scoring. But he obviously saw that Tahad and KO had it going, and he kind of deferred to them a little bit, which was great.
Last one.
Yeah, you have some experienced players, Keyshawn, Kevin Overton, guys who have been through the bubble before. What have you seen out of them, not just tonight, but the last couple of weeks, as far as being able to show the rest of the guys what it takes?
Yeah, we've tried not to talk about it a ton. Obviously, you guys do a good job of that for us. It's been a tough stretch, honestly. It really has, because we just have had some tough losses, and for us moving forward, it's just got to be about what we're doing in the moment and where our feet are, and we just got to continue to try and get better over these next few weeks. Because if we do, we can beat some people, and but that's really all our focus is on right now is just playing better basketball. And I thought we took a step in the right direction tonight.
All right, Coach.
Thanks, guys.